On Saturday, 8 acts will sing to the death in Hungary's A Dal. It's national selection for Eurovision 2016. It is time to go around and name our top three. Misha, you are sitting pretty in the Czech Republic. Why don't you kick us off?
Well, it's been very hard to choose my third favorite because I want to put 5 entries in my top 3, but I can't. So I have to decide, and my third favorite is probably Freddie with Pioneer. I really like the song, especially his voice. It's so deep and I don't know, it elevates the song, because the song might be a little bit repetitive, but with all the, I don't know, with that voice, it just transformed magically into something different, and it was a little bit difficult for me to get used to it, because I've never listened to something like this before, but I like it.
My number 3 is Mushu with Uncle Tom. It's a very well, it's not a different song for the charts, it's a different song for Eurovision. And it's kind of retro nearly in a way that it's sort of, it makes me think of kind of American bands back in the 80s and stuff, but it's retro rather than dated. Mm-hmm. And then I really, really like the synth bridge. It's very, I don't know, it's different, and it's not, a lot of these rock songs, they're just very guitar focused, and I think by using the electronic synth based background, it elevates the song a lot. The only thing is, I saw them perform live in the first show, and they're not as good live as they are on record, but that can all be rectified, and they have a really kind of out there image. They're not your typical rock band. A lot of these rock bands that go to Eurovision may as well be boy bands, that their looks are so manufactured, but they've the weird hair, they've the mismatched outfits, and yeah, they're my number 3.
Hungary's an interesting selection for me because usually I prefer female singers and female groups, but in Hungary, every one of my top 3 is a man. Hallelujah. My number 3 is Misha's. It is Freddie with Pioneer.
No right time, no right place to meet you in the grace. Approval is from within.
I don't know why, but I really like this song. I think it falls on the ears very easily. You can remember the melody. But more than that, he's charismatic. He's sexy as hell. He's very comfortable on the stage. You can't help but watch him as he raises his arms to show off his gym-honed biceps. I'm just loving the look, the sound. He seems authentic. This song is authentic to him. This is in his style. It fits. He's not been, just handed any old song and told to sing it. You can tell he really likes it. It's a little boring to me, I won't lie. It's a little boring. After 2 minutes, I'm like, oh, give me something. But again, through the live performance, he'll have time, he'll be able to elevate this, he'll have time to do something to mix it up before Stockholm if he goes. And I think it is very likely that he could go to Stockholm. There's a lot of support for him. Moving on to number 2, Misha.
My number 2 is, for its number 3, it's Uncle Tom from Mushu. It's a little bit old-fashioned, but I like it, and immediately when I started to listen to it, my body started to move for it. I really like that, and it has energy, it has some special vibe, and why not?
Yeah, from retro Americano to melodramatic pop balladry, my number 2 is Olivér Berkes and Andi Tóth with 7 Seas. And this is kind of the song that usually I complain that, oh, it's too over the top, oh, it's too melodramatic, but I don't know, there's just something about it. It's got a kind of R&B flavour to it. It's very, very naughty, but I don't care. It's probably my most played, well, maybe my second most played A Dal song from this year. And even just, I love how dramatic it is when she goes, "You're not my enemy," or "I'm not the enemy," or I forget the exact lyrics. But yeah, this is my number 2.
I love that you brought this up. This is actually my number 4. It was also my number 3. And it's a song that I want to hate, but as I watch them, I really like it. I don't buy their chemistry. I think the choreography is awful. I think the styling is atrocious, and yet it's so catchy, I don't care. It's cheese. This is pure cheese, and yet there's something likable about them. I think he's the better vocalist, and when he comes in, it saves the song for me, because she is just too dramatic. Ah, yeah, yeah, woo, woo, yeah. I'm like, listen, you are drowning in those 7 C's, but he saves you. In any event, this is not my number 2. My number 2 is Misha's number 2. It's Mushu with Uncle Tom.
Don't get paid what you're working for. Let my people go. When I tie my shoes and shovel snow, but it's 6 p.m. I got a life back home and I ain't got time to hang around. People I know when the sun go down.
Now, Uncle Tom is obviously a reference to the Harriet Beecher Stowe novel about slavery in America in the 19th century, about people having to work, people dying doing that work, and they're kind of applying that theme to today, the boss, the man. It's very clever and also very daring, because making an overt reference to slavery and putting it in a pop song, whoo! But they pull it off, because they are edgy. They have almost a hard kiss look, but it feels very real. This isn't just a stage show. I feel like they are kind of punks in their real life, and that sincerity, that authenticity comes through. It's very catchy, very modern, retro, yes. I'd even say vintage, because it's expensive. This is something, people would covet this sound. You can't just pluck this sound from the past. You have to kind of, I don't know, cultivate it, and they do that. I really believe them, and I like them. I do think they're a bit dodgy live, just a bit, they're still good, but maybe with some backing or an adjustment of the track, they can sort that out for Stockholm. Time for our number 1. Prague, take us home.
My number 1 is Petruska, This Trouble in My Mind.
The trouble with the world is all that I can see. I can't hold against the weight of what becomes of me.
I really like the song. It's so sassy, it's bluesy, and it goes on nose, and it has some, I guess, Hungarian instruments in it, like this bridge. I don't know what it is, maybe strings or whatever. It's something special. It just instantly gets into your mind and stays there. And then I really like the message of the song, like a trouble in your mind, and then he's bringing up everything, like all the problems, like corruption, wars, and everything else. It seems like Hungary is going for all those heavy topics for Eurovision. Like in 2014, Alessandros with child abuse. In 2015, Words for Nothing from Bogi. And this can be the year of some political problems, with corruption and other problems in mind. So I really like it. It's getting, it's an earworm.
My issue with it is, it's like the song title, it's called Trouble in My Mind. And that's just a small niggle, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll ignore that it should be Trouble on My Mind. And then I listen to the song and it's fine. And then it starts to annoy me just the way the song title does. And he's just strumming his guitar. And it's fine for the A Dal final, but if I was to hear that every day until May, I would be driven crazy and I'd have more than Trouble on My Mind.
Well, who is taking the trouble off your mind, Porig? You are number 1.
Surprise, surprise, because I think, well, not surprisingly, but it's going to end up, I think, that Calais Saunders won't be in any of our top 3, because Freddie is my number 1 with Pioneer. And I think he is kind of cut from a similar cloth to Mons Amulo. But out of all of those, because we've seen them in nearly every selection, there's kind of been a singer who, I don't know whether it's broadcasters or producers or whoever, have kind of been like, okay, we'll ride on the Mons Amulo bandwagon. Freddie is the best. And he's got these distinct vocals. You instantly know that it is Freddie that's singing. He's an established pop star. He's got a big name. He's topped the televote. He's topped the jury vote. He had a huge hit during the summer in Hungary with Mary Jo, and pioneered then the song itself. Initially, I was kind of disappointed because my expectations were so high, but he just delivers it so well. He rocks the tight grey shirts, like his muscles really helpful. And the song then, I love any kind of song that has a bit of whistling. I don't know, I'm a sucker for whistling. TikTok with Maria Yaremchuk, Subalter, both them in 2014. I love the whistling. He's got the whistling. He has to win.
Porrig, take us home. Hallelujah. My number one is another man that you guys have not mentioned. It is Oláh Gergő. This song opens with him kind of wailing, and it reminds me of Sarushu's Kele Kele. He is like the male Sarushu. It's just amazing. It's full of surprises, you know, from the strong Turkic influence, the kind of Ottoman-inspired traditional music, moving on to like the blossoming flowers on the LED, to the sick, amazing choreography, to the water that falls from the ceiling at the end. This harks back to pre-jury Eurovision, to Dimitri Koldun, to Sarushu, to Shady Lady. It is a show. This is a proper show. He is not just thinking about the song, he's not just thinking about a radio hit, he's thinking about putting on a performance. And also, I think the song is quite good. It's very catchy, it's very danceable, and this is the kind of music I miss at Eurovision. This is pure, unadulterated fun, and yet it's really well produced. It's not cheap. Like Eleftheria Eleftheru, I loved that song, but it was cheap. Whereas this is fun, but it sounds, there's some thought behind it. And it builds. The audience, if you watch the live performance, the audience is going crazy in Hungary. I think this is a dark horse. People, perhaps the jury is not as huge of a fan of this, but I think the people, if you give power to the people, they're gonna be pushing this forward.
That is my honorable mention. I wanted it in my top 3 as well. I like the song, and it has some also, let's say, Turkish influence. It's something special.
Oh, and also the violin. I love how it's this upbeat dance number, and it cuts to this almost Balkan sounding. I know it's Turkish, but Balkan-esque, like violin, and there are layers here of tradition, of modernity, of froth, of depth. It has everything.
Yes, it has everything, and that's kind of the problem.
No.
Yes, its popularity baffles me. It just sounds like a noise that they opened the kitchen cupboard and scooped everything into the record making machine, and out popped this song, and I think it's a mess, and I do not like it.
Oh snap. Well.
But that's interesting. We cannot agree on our number ones, and it's interesting what will win in Hungary at the end.
It is interesting also that we didn't mention Kalle Saunders at all. And there was so much hype surrounding him. I just have to say, I think he's a great performer, but this song I don't like. I don't like this reinvention of Kalle Saunders with the band. I think Running had a nice electro feel, whereas this is trying to be more instrumental, and it just doesn't work for me.
Absolutely.
Do you think he could win?
No.
I think it's set up that Freddie will win, even just the way the semi-finals were allocated. Semi-final one was so much stronger. Kalle Saunders won the televote, I think, but he only came 4th or 3rd with the juries. The juries marked him down considerably. So I don't think, like a lot of people thought it was Kalle Saunders to lose, but I think it's shaping up because the juries and the televotes are behind Freddie, so I can't see anyone else winning.
Well, that's what we think. Who are your favorites in Hungary's A Dal? You can let us know here on wiwibloggs. Misha, what else can they do?
Right.
Yes, please subscribe. Porrig.
And while you're at it, hit the like button.
See you later.
Bye.
Oláh Gergő with the song, what's the title?
Gyozayo.
Who?
Gyozayo.
Gozayo?
Something like this.
It is Oláh Gergő with the song Gyozayo. Actually, we'll just do the first bit. I don't need the song.